Okay folks, I'm back here to pick up where you left off. In today's lesson, we are going to finally save the data from each widget in the WordPress database. To do this, we'll use the update method. This method works in a very simple way. First, I get the new information from my instance, which I call here new instance. For example, if I enter a value for the widget title, that is going to be the value of the title for that specific instance, right? And the same goes for the other fields, okay? And I also get the old value of my instance, represented by this parameter old instance. I can have two situations. The first time I save the instance data, they will be empty. However, from the second time on, the instance data will come directly from the database. To be more specific, from the WP options table. Let me remind you that both parameters are arrays, okay? Each one of them will store all the fields of my form. For example, old instance title stores the value for the title of a specific instance, and so on and so forth. The first thing I do here is to create a variable called instance. It starts receiving the value from the old instance. The goal will be to pass the values of the new instance to it, and here at the end, return its value, but with the new data. Actually, I'm going to pass it here at the end right now. So return instance. That is, this is a kind of filter, all right? Okay, I defined a variable instance, which receives the old value of the instance. Now I can put it like this. Instance title, you receive new instance title. In other words, the old value of the title will be updated and will now receive its new value. That's all I'm doing here. And for the number, I can do it like this. Now the checkbox fields are a little different. For example, for the image field, I go like this. This means the following. If the value of the new instance is not empty, the updated value will be 1, which is the same as true, right? Otherwise, it will get 0. That's false. The other two fields will remain the same. To finish, we just have to worry about the security of the data that will be sent to the database. Always remember that this method here, its purpose is to send stuff to the database, okay? So here, to sanitize the title that is being sent to the database, I can use our well-known sanitize text field function. And for the number, I can use appsInt. Another way to do this is to cast some data to some other data type like this. This way I force the conversion of the data that's going into the table to an integer. You can do the same for the checkbox field as well, but this is already good enough. So there you go, that's it for this method. Now to finish, we can come back here in the form method and pass the actual values of each instance. For the title, we can put it this way. That is, if there's any value for the title, we pass its value. That comes, of course, from the database now. Otherwise, we pass an empty string. This will be very useful for when there's no information in the database yet. For the number, we do it like this. Here we pass 5 as default value in case there is no data yet in the WP options table. For the image field, we pass it like this. That is, when there is no value in the database, the value will be false. This means that the field will not be checked, okay? For both fields, we can repeat this validation here just by changing the field names. And now we're all set to save the data effectively in the table. So let's do a test. So here we go. I have here an instance of my widget. I will type in some random title and change the values here. Saving this. Well, no errors. This means that the information was saved in the database. Let's take a look at how it looks like. Opening up PHPMyAdmin, WP options table. Let's move to the end of the table. Well, the API saves my data in a table field called widget_mv-testimonials. The pattern is always the same, okay? Widget underscore and the widget ID, alright? And here inside we got the data from my first instance of the widget, but in a serialized format. Notice here that I have each of the fields with their values. The first integer here is the widget instance number. And here I got an array of 5 positions. Each item is a field inside this instance of mine, alright? It's not that hard to understand it. Now let's do one last test. I'm gonna create a new instance of the widget and fill in some more data. Let's see how it looks like in the table. Now you see I have another integer. And from here on, we got data from this specific new instance of mine, okay? Well, you don't have to worry so much about decoding this information here, okay? I'm just showing it to you as a matter of curiosity, and also because it might be useful to you in the future. The important thing is that now we already have the methods that create the form and update the information in the WP options table, okay? Now we just need to know how to get this information and use it to manage the visualization of our widget on the front end. That's what we'll do in the next lesson. So see you there.